one of my good friends and one of the most talented people I know, Brendan Bouchard. He's one of the most successful coaches in the world today. Brendan is a New York Times best-selling author whose videos have been viewed over 100 million times online. He consults and coaches people like Oprah Winfrey, Ariana Huffington, Usher, and many, many more.
He is the top 100 most followed public figures on Facebook with over 10 million fans, 2 million students, myself being one of them, and maybe some of you as well, have taken one of his online courses. And there are tens of thousands of people who have attended his live seminars all around the world. He's smart, he's thoughtful, he's funny, he's authentic, he's truthful, and he's one of the best at what he does in his business. And it is my honor and pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Brendan Bouchard.
Let's go, day 3, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go, day 3 at Influencer Summit. Let's go. Good morning. I see you. You're real people. I can see you up in here. Let's go. Good morning, good morning. How y'all doing? I see you partying, ready to go. Let's go, Tiffany. I see you, Leah. Alejandro's in the house. Dory's in the house. Steve's in the house. Darlene's in the house. Dane's in the house. Anthony. Atlanta's in the house. Paige, let us know. Where are you watching from over here, ladies and gentlemen? Let us know. I see Florida in the house. Texas in the house. London in the house. Utah. San Antonio. Atlanta, Virginia, Denmark, Long Island, Oslo, Prague is in the house, New Hampshire's in the house, Ireland is in the house, Panama, Germany, Japan. Look at this, North Dakota, Jersey, Italy, San Francisco, aloha, Hawaii. All right. I'm so excited for you to join us today. It is day 3 of an epic 3-day free live event called the Influencer Summit. If this is your first moment with us, welcome. If you've been here for 3 days, thank you for your energy, your encouragement, your chat. As you can see in the chat, all around the world participating in Influencer Summit. How do you share your knowledge, your wisdom, your passions with the world? How do you build a brand doing it? How do you have fun doing it? How do you do it from a place of value and service? And ultimately, how do you build this into a lifestyle, into a business, into a revenue stream that gives you that freedom to serve more people, gives you that freedom to pursue your creative interests more, gives you that platform to be more creative, and gives you the mission to serve people more like the best creators, thought leaders, influencers, authors, speakers, and coaches in the world. We've been talking about that for 3 days. 3 days we've been here for you. If you missed any of it, make sure you get yourself registered at InfluencerSummit.com because it's our registrants who get the replays. And VIPs, thank you for being in the Zoom with me here today, bringing the energy all the last couple days. We did some Q&A. We'll do again tonight, extended Q&A with our VIPs. So excited to have you here in the Zoom rooms, lighting it up, giving me the energy so I'm not just talking to a camera by myself, but I get to see you, I get to experience you. So thank you for being here. You know, I really believe that the opportunity to serve so many people around the world right now, it's not just like this career choice or a side hustle or, you know, something you can do for a couple extra bucks on the internet. Some people, that's their approach. They're just like, hey, I want to make a couple extra bucks on the internet. And when they hear the word influencer, they think that. They think, oh, well, that's just, you know, it's just people posting selfies and charging money for, you know, a PDF. Or, oh, it's just people, you know, running YouTube shows with some ads on it. And listen, there is a part of any industry where people do it just for money. Any industry where people do it to take advantage of other people. Any industry where people do it and some rise up and do it well and some are kind of crappy at it. this world, whether you call it the creator economy, the knowledge industry, the influencer space, it's everybody just trying to share their voice and build an audience and earn an income. And you will see, as we talked the last couple of days, you saw speakers talking about how sometimes, you know what? They doubted themselves. Sometimes the judgment and the hate in the chat or in social media hurts. Sometimes their spouse didn't believe in them. Sometimes, you know, they launched the first thing and it sucked. And they had to have the courage, the willingness, the passion, the purpose to launch it again and do it again and again and again and again, even when it was hard, even when they were broke, even when they were started. And if you heard my story, even when you started with a flip video camera and, you know, 4 IKEA lamps pointed at me for lighting back in the day, we all start somewhere. And I never imagined that I'd get to be doing this for you. I never imagined that, you know, all these years later, from the kid shooting the flip video camera with the, you know, IKEA lights, that 500 million views later, you know, over 50 million hours of my training consumed, having the blessing of, you know, 3 million plus people, you know, on our newsletter list, or having whatever it is, you know, 10 million fans across all of our properties and social media. Didn't see that. And all I could see was I wanted to be a writer. I just wanted to write books because I love reading books. I wanted to write books on personal development. And the first book I launched after spending so much time on it failed. And it upset me enough that I finally realized I need to learn some marketing. I need to learn how to get my message out there. I need to learn how to communicate with people. I need to learn these new modalities of sales pages and email sequences and webinars and Zooms and videos. I had to learn all that 15 years ago. And so it was a long journey to get here, but I also want to share with you my hidden secret is I've had more fun at this than most people in the industry because of you. Because of you and because of you. It's so fun for me getting to serve with you all. I appreciate you. I'm always giving my honor and my respect and my cheers back to you because it's hearing other people come up and hearing their story. You heard almost speaker after speaker at the summit this year say, oh, I was at Brendan's event back in the day, or I took his courses back in the day. And most of the time, I don't even know that. What happens is they're successful. I'm watching them. I'm like, wow, they're really good at this. I'll reach out and they're like, oh yeah, I took your course. I'm like, what? That's amazing. Well, I'll be backstage at some seminar or some event, and I'll meet the other speakers. How you doing? We'll do some selfies, and they're like, hey, man, I took your course like 5 years ago. I'm like, what? And like the ripple effect that you get to have when you stay in the game, serving people, developing your skill set, getting better, earning more so you can reach more, is so empowering. And so I hope you felt that energy last couple of days from all of our teachers and speakers, that they started from nothing, many of them in debt or broke, many of them not knowing how to do a web page or an email sequence, not knowing how to do content. We all got to make it up, but some of us stick to it. Some of us keep going. Some of us have a heart that says, I actually care about people. They're not the get-rich-quick YouTube ad guys. They're the, no, how do I actually significantly help other people? And guess what? You don't know how to do that yet, nor do I. You just keep trying and getting better and better and better. All of life is a competency game, right? Meaning it's a learning journey, right? We're always on the path of mastery, but you got to be on the path. You got to try. You got to learn. You can doubt yourself, but keep learning. Remember, doubt is not a signal to stop. Doubt is a signal to learn, to be aware, to pay attention, to recalibrate. And so if you're doubting yourself or you're doubting this industry, I'm here to tell you, like I've shared with you from the very beginning, there's 2 things you need. First, you need to know what to do. And that's what we call like going to school, education, learning, the awareness to see what are the possibilities And how does it work? Right? So here, one of our partners in Influencer Summit these last 2 days has been Boss Babe. And Boss Babe has a program called Influencer School. It's like literally a 12-week program. You go there and you learn how to do the stuff, right? You learn how to create the content, which we'll talk about. You learn how to build the audience, which we'll talk about. You'll learn how to find your thing, which we will talk about today. We also believe that first you got to have know what to do, the awareness to it, like the strategies or the schooling, right? The education about it. But then you need the system for actually doing the thing to make the money. That means to build your web pages, to capture the emails, to follow up with customers, to do your online sales, to have your checkout pages, your upsell sequences, your email follow-up, your membership sites, your coaching platform, your podcast platform. In this world, that's called Kajabi. Kajabi is our sponsor of this year's summit. They've allowed this to happen for all of us. When you think about it, we just did 3 days with some of the highest paid people in the world at this. And then, of course, the email sequences and all the value that they got, that's only possible because it's Kajabi, but we use it. So if you saw a web page from us, or you're on a web page right now, you're on Kajabi. That's the platform, that page that you see, influencersummit.com, that's a Kajabi page. You enter your email there, you get a confirmation. That's all set up through Kajabi. Kajabi's a system. It's called Kajabi, Kajabi. My team will put up our event offer as a sponsor. They've hooked you up for an entire year of marketing training with me live every single first of the month if you join Kajabi. It's unbelievable. It's a specific event offer, and my team will put it in the chat wherever you happen to be watching right now. And that's the system. So when you think about it, to succeed, you always need to know the competency. You got to go to school. You got to educate yourself. You have to learn. Meaning, what do I do? What are the possibilities, and how do I do it? So I'd call that Influencer School by Boss Babes. Take their 12-week program. You'll get all of it. Then you need a system, like an actual thing that takes the money, sends the emails, builds the pages. We call that Kajabi, and that is the biggest brand and name in the industry, and we love them. You're talking about over 100,000 creators and thought leaders and influencers use Kajabi and have relied on it now, for me, over a decade. So
I just left seeing Wakanda Forever, and
now the rest just psychology.
I'm pissed. I am pissed because if Pushing an Agenda was a movie,
just getting
this
around
would be in the
energy
forefront
and the community of people.
This
right?
was Woman King on steroids. If
you
think that I'm going to believe a 100-pound black woman soaking wet is just an almighty
That's
warrior,
why you heard
and can just
every single speaker talk about, I have to get out of my own way. I had to find courage. I had to find confidence. I had to believe in myself. I had to have faith that would turn out. I had to be okay that I pivot and I change. I try new things. That's the work. If you're just joining us for the first time, the last couple of days, I've been talking about this model right here. I just call it my marketing triangle. And the marketing triangle basically says this is what we're all doing in this industry, especially those of us who are higher earning, right? The base of the triangle is your content rhythm. Your content rhythm. This is you being consistent in your content. Now, I know some people ask the question, but I don't know what to teach yet. I haven't found my passion yet. Well, hopefully the last 3 days helped. But if not, remember, this is kind of what the Boss Babes Influencer School teaches you. How do you create content? What do you do for YouTube versus Instagram versus TikTok? How do you find core messages that resonate with your audience? How do you build that audience into a community? How do you build that audience into a community into buyers? That's Influencer School. How do you have a career where you're creating your content, but you're also monetizing it, right? So that's the content rhythm. That's important. We also talked about live campaigns. And I shared with you, and I'll just say this again, because I know I was doing Q&A with VIPs last night. So many questions in the forum, and so many questions we got on DM. I really believe that people overcomplicate. See, I get these questions all the time. Brendan, should I do this? And almost 100% of the time, I'm like, yes. See, in marketing, you don't have to be perfect and you don't have to know the answer. You have to get in the game. Real marketing is just testing, learning, seeing the data and the results, going again, improving it again and again. And so one of the questions was, well, what would you do if you started over again? I shared the other day, I said, well, if I started over again, I would spend all week on social media adding value, going live, doing posts, stories, reels, talks, whatever it is your thing you want to do is. I would just be everywhere, but I'd be linking over to a page like you see at Influencer Summit that was built on Kajabi, where I say, enter your name and email to join me live on this Friday, where I'm going to talk to you about this or teach about that or do group coaching or answer questions. I'd get people onto a live broadcast or a Zoom at the end of each week, and I'd sell my thing. If my thing's as a coach, I'd tell them to go, I'd teach, I'd add value, I'd coach people on that Zoom as an example. I'd give them a link to apply to work with me as a coach. If I had a course for sale, I would teach. I'd share all about the course, tell them about the things that they're going to learn, and then I'd give them a link to buy the course. Where do you get the link? Where do you buy the thing? Again, that's Kajabi. It's a system, right? So to me, this is a big piece. In the modern era, you going live, I really need you to get over your fear of that, right? Maybe you fear, being on video, or you think your background sucks, or you don't have a fancy camera, or all these other things that you tell yourself. Because if you're watching, I see everyone who's making 7 figures, 8 figures and above. They're doing lives a lot. Well, those people didn't just come out of the womb going live. Give me that camera, Mom. It's like not how it worked. I think of Anthony Trucks, one of my favorite teachers and friends in the industry. Anthony came to one of my seminars, and I said something on stage. I said, hey, you know what? If I was starting over again, I would grab that phone and I would go live every single day for 2 or 3 years just to teach myself to be a good communicator. Because when I was coming up, I didn't even have that opportunity, so I had to get in front of stages or classrooms or small groups to learn how to teach and talk, right? Now you just pick up the thing and you just do the reps every day, going live, talking to people, answering questions, and you learn the communication skill by doing it because the platform is there every day for you on your phone. Your number one barrier, as we talked about on day one, isn't usually, is there an opportunity here? Or what could I do? It's usually courage and self-esteem. You think you're too young or too old or too ugly or too inexperienced or and you tell yourself these stories. You're like, I should go live, but, and then that's what happens, right? Oh, I could make money at this, but I would love to share my passion, but, and your butt and your big butts are getting in the way of you breaking through. That's old school personal development joke. Anyone get it? Y'all got that one? I thought it was pretty good. Old school personal development. Your butt's getting in your way. I was not talking about your actual butt. Maybe you know what I'm saying. You have to realize you got to get off your butts and get into motion. Move. Get this done. Like all of these excuses you tell yourself, that is stealing from your family's future. I shared that on day one, and it is one thing I am very strong about in this industry. You not showing up, if you have the impulse to watch something like this, you're already a servant leader. Maybe you've never called yourself that before, but you're somebody who is into learning. You want to help people. You want to develop skills. You want to get better. You want to build something for your family? You want to earn more for your family? Like, own that. Like, that's something that's beautiful in this world. And like I told you, my esteem probably wasn't good enough to get in the industry, but I was watching my girlfriend sleep under the weight of my bills. And I didn't want that for our future. So I had to get serious about making money, which meant I had to get serious about getting over my butts. Yeah, they make money online with that video, but I ain't got a camera. Well, now no one has that excuse. Yeah, I see them, I see them making money with the, video, but, I don't know how to talk to people. I'm an awkward kid from Montana. Oh, right. Communication is not a birthright. Communication is a skill set. Oh, I'm not a good communicator. No, you're embarrassed to be seen starting small. Oh, yeah, that's what's happening. Oh, yeah. Oh, I'm not like them. No, you're embarrassed to be seen starting small. Because that was the difference for them. They weren't embarrassed to be seen starting small. Matter of fact, they were kind of prideful about it. They were okay with it. They're like, you know what? This is kind of going to be a hot mess. If you watch, some of you know, I run a software company called Growth Day, and you watch all these teachers, we're always talking about our hot messes in life. And it's not always in past tense. Some of you know, like Mel Robbins taught on Growth Day for a year, and she launched her challenge there. And she would come live, and she's like, here's what's going on in my life. And she'd share a story, and it was just like, she would call herself. She's like, I'm going through this. I'm a big mess right now, but don't worry about it. That vulnerability and that truth is not something to be embarrassed about. That's sharing your journey. Why are you letting your parents' words get in your head that you got to be perfect? Why are you letting your friends cause you competitive concern? Oh, I'm not as good as them. Why are you comparing yourself to anybody? You know what you need to compare yourself to? How you showed up yesterday. Show up better today. You know what you got to compare yourself to? Your learning journey. Are you learning? Are you getting better? Are you investing in yourself? Are you trying? I know you all know this, but I'm just sharing this with you because if you've been in this industry for a while, and I know many of you have, you've got the courses or you got the program, maybe even got a coach or you hired a consultant, you built that web page, you're doing social media, but you're not yet doing the most simple and elegant thing, which is add value in your content and sell something on a regular basis. You got a big butt. I know they're making money, but I can't. You got to overcome that at some point and get in the game. My first offer, the first thing I was selling online, like I told you, was my book, and then course, coaching, event, not all at once, kind of one at a time. And when that first book didn't sell well, I didn't be like, I must be a terrible writer. I didn't be like, oh, no one's buying books from people from Montana. No. I said, you know what? I don't yet have the skill of marketing. I don't know what to do. I don't know how to do it well. I don't know how to sell well. I didn't get down on myself. I go, that's a skill set I just don't have. So I invested in myself. I went to conferences. I got courses. I read books on it. I studied copywriting. I just started watching everybody and seeing what they're doing and taking notes. And most importantly, as I was studying, I was doing. See, I don't know about you. I just want to share with you. And maybe I'm in a different place. Maybe I'm in a different place. But maybe you are. Maybe some of you are. If I had Influencer Summit, if I had what you just got the last 2 days, I would have already made money by now. That's just me. I would have already been, because on day one, when I said go live and sell something, I would have already done it on day one. I'd be like, oh, right, yeah. He's saying I can go live and sell something. Yeah, I'm going to go do that. I would have went live. I would have went live on Instagram and sold a pair of socks. I would have went live on Instagram and sold some of my leftover dog food. I would have went live on Instagram and I would have sold, hey, I'm going to be here next week in a Zoom teaching about motivation. If you'd like to join me, here's a link to buy. And I would go. But maybe that's me because I was broke. And I think some people, when their back is against the wall, boom, they're in motion. They're moving. They're investing. They're learning. They're doing. Other people, their comfort zone is there. They're fine just getting by and surviving. Even for me, and this is not judgmental to anybody here because we have a global audience, I recognize that growing up in North America, I grew up in privilege, even though we were at the poverty line. I recognize where I come from, what I've gotten experience. Doesn't matter. My dad fought 3 wars. It doesn't matter that my mom was an immigrant. It doesn't matter that, we had nothing coming up. I'm still privileged. And what I've learned along the way, though, is that each of us has to choose whether or not we're going to step in the arena and do the work. Because I know how many of y'all know some privileged people, they don't do anything, right? But I also know some people who have all the opportunity, but they also choose not to. They choose to stay in the comfort zone because it's so easy. I was somebody who was in poverty and I was comfortable there. I was okay with the squalor because I never had anything before. And it wasn't until I could look outside myself and want to help my family and want to make the next generation better and want to help people and get over my own insecurities and inadequacies and say, you know what? I just need to develop some skills. I don't have them. I don't have anybody around. No one where I grew up in Montana was doing this career that I have today. It was like a very novel thing. Remember, we're talking back in 2006, right? My first book came out 2001, so it's been a long time. And I had to figure out so many things, but I didn't let the buts get in the way. I don't know how, but. I know they're making money, but. I see her doing this, but. Instead, it was like all fuel. It was all fuel. Fuel for inspiration, fuel for motivation, fuel for drive, fuel for service. Drive. I tell people, if you don't have drive, well, first, read High Performance Habits and understand psychologically or habitually why you don't have that drive and that motivation. Something's going on. Something's going on. Sometimes we need help with that. You need a coach, you need a therapist, you need a mentor, you need to be vulnerable, you need to share, you need to ask for help, you need to join a new community. That's all. That's the human experience. You don't have to be perfect. You just got to get in motion, babe. You don't have to be perfect. You just got to get in motion. And you got to stay in motion. And you got to try. So when I stand here and say, hey, you know what? You could just, put some content out there. And I shared with you my content rhythm on day 1. It's like, hey, I started with my philosophy is 1 weekly long form post or piece of content that's significant, whether it could be YouTube or a blog or wherever, and 4 posts on whatever social media platform I'm trying to win on a day. But many of those posts are just recycled, repurposed, rebuilt content I've done before. You might only create 2 new pieces of content a day, and the other 2 that you're creating are actually recycled or reused or repurposed. I talked about I would go live every week and I would sell something. And I talked about when I'm ready and I actually want to go into that high earn mode, now I'm going to start evergreen funnels. That means you're going to build a web page, an offer, an opt-in sequence. You're going to capture name and email. You're going to drive them through value and make an offer. But you're going to set it up so it always runs. This way, you can go to bed at night, wake up, there's money in the bank. Go to bed at night, wake up, there's something working for you. Your evergreen funnel is your system. And so this morning, I'm going to kind of close the loop and finish that conversation and show you, because I said, one thing we'll cover here is how to do launches or how to do email that doesn't suck, right? How do you, make higher end offers to get lifetime value? So this morning, I'm going to sketch it out pretty simply for you. And then we'll also be joined by our co-host, Boss Babe. Danielle Canty is back in the house today to walk you through how they built a community of 3 million fans so fast, right? You're going to learn today from the world's #1 vocal coach. Like, how do you find your voice? Because your voice is this game, right? You're going to learn from some surprise guests I have not yet announced yet. It's going to be an awesome day 3. Who's pumped for some Influencer Summit action today? Let's go. Oh, we're going to have a good day. We're going to have a good day. I'd love to see in the chat, has anyone actually done something in the last 2 days. You made a decision. You put up a website. You did a post. Let me see it over here. Who's done something? Look at all these yes. Coach, Maureen, Christelle, Lisa, Donna. I've been on fire. Hell yes, David says. Bring my Michael. Let's go. Now post, what did you do? What did you do? Not just yes, what did you do? Tell us. I made digital content. I built the plan. I did the evergreen funnel. I've been posting. I've been writing. Let's go. That's what we're talking about. That's awesome. Wow. Y'all been crushing it. Woo. Did my webinar funnel. Started my TikTok. Created course content. Wrote 3 blogs. Chose one system. Started my landing page. Signed up for Kajabi. Signed up for Boss Babe. I sold a VIP. I created a paid link. Let's go. You see? Yes. Now you're talking. Talk about social proof, guys. You don't have to wait. All right. You don't have to wait. You don't have to wait. Good job. Good job, Abby. Good job, Heather. Good job, Donna. Good job, Tom. Good job. You're in the game. You're saying you're doing it. Keep doing it. I'm only here because I kept doing it, right? You just keep going. You just keep going, right? No one becomes who they become off of that one episode or that one show or that one content. Oprah didn't become Oprah overnight. Go back and watch. She's just figuring it out. She evolved. She got better, but she kept showing up. That's what matters. Kept serving, kept evolving, getting become more conscious, more deliberate, more thoughtful, more service-driven. We all become that way. Maybe the first thing you do is you're trying to make $10, trying to make $1,000 extra a month. You're just getting in the game. You're just like, I just want to figure something out. It's cool. We all did that. Keep going. Today, I want to talk about this idea of the evergreen funnel and just some simple examples for you that might be of service to be like how to think through this in a different way, okay? So let's talk about this evergreen funnel because I'm always asked about it, and I always feel like it's so easy to break it down and to show how you can do it and do email marketing along with it to build more value, build more sales. And so I told you what I'd do if I was starting over. As an example, as a coach, I would add a ton of content out in social media land, build an organic audience, drive people to an opt-in page where they register for a Zoom. And at the end of the week, I'd get people on Zoom, I'd add value, and I'd sell. I'd be making money next week for my family, right? I didn't have these tools that you have. Back then, I had to build the whole course first. I had to shoot the whole thing first. I had to code the web pages and build and code the checkout. Like we didn't have Kajabi back when I started, right? That was handmade, real coding, HTML coding. Watch out, my tables were sick. Okay, so now, let's say, now you get Kajabi. You're going to build some web pages and email sequences. An email sequence is the same as a funnel. So let's just walk through what this is. When you hear evergreen funnel, automated campaign, evergreen campaign, evergreen funnel, it's all the same. It just means you're constantly driving people to some pages where you're making sales or capturing emails, and then you're going to add value and make some more sales. That's a funnel. Many of us who are just the bigger names in the industry, we just do that more consistently. And then sometimes we get other partners called affiliates to promote it, or we run ads at it. It's either organic, ads, or affiliates. So let's talk through a couple of these ideas. Okay, let's talk through 2 simple models. You've probably heard me teach before if you've been in my community a long time. I'm going to create 2 different types of web pages, 2 different types of campaigns here, okay? First off, let's do like a classic, right? A very classic one. We're going to do the OVO. And the second one, what we're going to do is we're going to do the DTS. If you don't know what these are, you're in the right place today. And don't worry, I teach this stuff all year long. So if you sign up for the Kajabi Growth Plan as part of this, I'm literally live teaching this stuff every single first day of the month. I bring the community together. I teach a new marketing strategy. It's on the first day of every month, so you can kick off your month knowing what to do. And that's only for Kajabi Growth Plan members. So if you're on a page somewhere, or my team can put it in the chat what that is. Okay, can you push in a little tighter? I'm going to write a little smaller. Just push in a little. You can push all the way up in there. All right. Now, let's go. So what we're going to do is the OVO. What OVO is similar to DTS. OVO stands for opt-in value offer. Okay? Opt-in value offer. This means we're going to take our organic. We're going to maybe take affiliates, or we're going to take ads. We're going to drive people to an opt-in page. What's an opt-in page? Go to InfluencerSummit.com. That's an opt-in page. You tell them what you got. You ask them to get their email. That's an opt-in. That's it. It's a landing page, meaning a web page, and you ask for their name and their email. Right? So this is just email. We're just going to get their email. Simple, right? Very simple. That's all it is. Can you all do that? Right? This will take you approximately, if you really suck at technology and you have Kajabi, to use a template and to set up the template, if you really suck, maybe an hour or two. Maybe. If you've used any online tools ever before, you're like in the game in 20 minutes. Okay. So I use Kajabi, InfluencerSummit.com. Again, that's just a template. That's on Kajabi. So we capture their email with OVO. That's the first move. Okay, what do we do then? Well, sorry, that's looking really terrible. Oh, I have the thing set on the big brush thing. I was like, why does that look like that? Okay. Too much information for you. Okay, let's go. Now, what's going to happen? They're going to land on what? A thank you page, right? They opted in. Oh, this is looking, let's do this. Okay. They opted in. They're going to land on a thank you page. Now, what can you do on the thank you page, ladies and gentlemen? Type it. What can you do in the chat? What can you do on the thank you page? Okay. Offer, sell, upsell. Yes. Add value, sell again, something. Yes. Okay, good. What are we going to do? Well, if I was coaching you or suggesting something, well, they opted in for something, right? I want you to do two things. The first thing is I'm just going to put a video right up here and tell them the value, like just teach them, give it to them, or tell them what happens next. So, for example, if they're opting in for a PDF, there'd still be a video of me going, hey, thank you for opting in for that PDF. Check your inbox. I just sent it to you. But let me tell you about the three main things that most people miss when they open up that PDF. Things they forget, things they don't do. Okay, number one, the thing that you need to know, because I know you're interested in this, is, and then teach. Bam, 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 add value. What are you going to do at the end of that video, though? Sell something. Yep, there's going to be a buy opportunity. Buy button. Something to buy. If you came on an Influencer Summit, you opted in. I said, hey, listen, you get to attend live. We'll also send you some free training videos. But then over here, I said, hey, if you're here, if you want to join us in VIP, you can join us to be in the Zoom rooms, do Q&A, receive extra special training, and longer replays in your members area. So I made an offer for VIP, even though they entered their name for free, right? So OVO, what does it stand for? Opt-in, that's this. The thank you page, we're adding the value, right? I'm going to teach something or make an offer or tell them what's going to happen, and then everything else after this is the value, right? You're going to email them more free training, more content, teach some more, and what are you going to do? You're just going to keep telling them that you got something for sale. Add value, tell them something for sale. Very simple. OVO, what does it stand for? Opt-in, so they opted in. We're going to send them value, and we're going to make offers along the way. OVO, opt-in, value, offer. It's the whole industry still is actually built on this. And for those who've been with me a long time, I've been teaching this since 2006. It's still, everyone's like, this will go away. I'm like, it's never going away. But there's social media, there's Facebook now, there's Instagram now, there's YouTube, there's TikTok. And I'm like, it will always be the same. Because email's going away, Brendan. Okay. Every year. Email's going away, Brendan. Yeah. Why is it going away? Oh, because, people use Facebook and Instagram and TikTok now. I'm like, can you tell me, how did you log in to those social platforms? Well, with my email. Shocker. Okay, probably not going away if your login is your email. Okay, so we're going to opt in. I'm going to come back to this here in a minute. You get the idea. Raise your hand if you got it with me so far. So simple. Again, we use Kajabi for this. Opt-in page, send out value on multiple web pages, and on those multiple web pages, make an offer. Always deliver the value. Always deliver the value, then the offer, right? OVO, opt-in value offer. You're always delivering the value, whether that value shows up in their inbox or on that next page. But now you got the opt-in, keep adding value, keep making your offer. The only difference of those of us who make more than anyone else, get ready for this, in terms of a funnel, and again, I'll talk about other things you can do, but in terms of the funnel, the only difference is some of us keep building a larger community, so our organic traffic is bigger. You're going to learn a lot about that from Danielle Canty of Boss Babe. And for those who joined up on Influencer School, you're about to give a master class in Influencer School. These women have built millions of fans in one of the shortest amounts of time I've ever seen. Organic, knowing what to do. That's Influencer School. My team will put that up if you haven't signed up for that yet. Affiliates. You go to conferences or you meet people in virtual events like this. You keep connected and you find other people who also are passionate about your topic who might promote your thing. Ads. We'll run ads. We'll figure out the math behind this. How much does it cost to get an email? And what percentage do they convert in the funnel? The funnel just means the other emails and web pages that you send that make an offer. That's what a funnel is. Okay, you got their contact information. The funnel is, what's the pages and the offers you send afterwards? And we'll just measure it. Be like, oh, wait, I can spend, I'm making this up. I can spend $7 to get an email. Okay, I spent $7 with an ad to get someone's email. But guess what? X% of people are buying in this funnel where I make $9. So I spend $7 to get the email, but the funnel makes $9. So I'm making $2. And all the difference is people, once they figure that out, they work on that, they scale that. That's the difference in the industry. Okay, so I think that's fairly straightforward. Remember, if you were with me yesterday, though, this is predicated upon what? My framework yesterday. You got to have a core offer. You might set up your core offer or another offer for recurring revenue. You got to have urgency. So before I go to this one, what happens after this, the value? Well, you might send another value video. You might send another one. That's all good. You might keep offering something. That's all good. Add value, offer. But at some point, this was the teaching of yesterday, where most of you get down on yourselves, you feel like you're not earning enough. People aren't buying your thing. And I told you the number one reason is because you didn't start that 72-hour deadline. Right? You have an offer, you've added value, but you never have a deadline. Brendan, people don't buy from me. I must be ugly. You're not ugly. You ain't got no deadline. I can't. I've been marketing for 15 years every day. I can't sell anything without a deadline, right? Without the deadline or the urgency or the scarcity, why would they take action to buy now? You need to build that. That has to be part of your campaign. So most people who do have an email list, as an example, and maybe they do send out value, but they're not getting the sales, most of the time it's like, you ain't got no deadline. People today are distracted. No deadline, no buyer. If you can get a buyer without a deadline, great. You're probably getting 10 to 15% of your potential. The other 85% of people will not buy until there's a deadline, scarcity, or deal. They just won't. They'll just hang out. They'll keep watching. They'll keep following. They'll even open the emails. They'll even watch the videos, but they're not going to buy. So you've got to build that urgency with a scarcity, deadline, or a special deal or discount. There's got to be a reason. And so what's the difference between those of us who've really crushed it here? Well, these three things, organic, affiliates, or ads, right? Those are your multipliers. But guess what else is a multiplier? The number of OVOs you have. How many of these do you have running? This is a funnel. How many do you have running? Right? When I first broke through and I made my first 7 figures, my first $1 million online, I had one. I thought, this is working real good. I should make 2. So I had one OVO that was talking about motivation. Okay, great. Then I created another OVO about productivity. Doesn't sound too hard, does it? It was, because I was coding. Now, this is literally set up like you literally you sign up for Kajabi, you go in and you literally click a tab that says funnels. And then it says, which kind of funnel do you want? And you go, I want that one. And they give you a template for this now. All the pages, there's templates for the pages. Half of them have like an email. Like literally, they give you the email sequence. It's like, it's just mind-boggling to me. The amount of years and hours I spent to figure that stuff out, now it's in Kajabi. And again, you can buy Kajabi as part of this event special. You have to buy it by midnight tonight. There's my deadline. You have to sign up by midnight tonight. And then you get me as your marketing mentor all of next year. So if this stuff is new to you or you want to go deeper, every month I'm there live teaching. And Kajabi, our sponsor, is paying for that for you, right? I don't do that for less than $1,000 a year. You get that for free when you get Kajabi, which gives you the system to build this out. That's why I'm so passionate about it, right? So that's one type. That's the OVO. Okay, let's try, look at that. That's so cool. I don't really know how to do it, but. Okay, this is fun. I could do that all day. Okay, sorry. All right, I'm teaching. Okay, I'm doing, what was I doing? What happened? Okay. So we taught you the OTO. I told you that there's another kind, the DTS. What is that? Well, it looks the same, actually. It looks very similar, but stick with me here. The DTS is the direct to sell. Direct to sell. Meaning on this page, there's going to be that buy button. So this is called a what? Sales page. So you're just going to create a great sales page, tell them what you got, walk through what I teach you in terms of the sales process. And for those who want it, and I know you got this replay, so I'll go very quickly of what a sales page always has to do. Sales page always does the same thing. You got to describe the possibility and the pain. What's the possibility for them? What's the problem they're facing? You've got to describe a scene that's familiar to them. So they go, oh, this is relevant to me. You've got to then say, hey, you're going through this. You want this. You're struggling with that. It looks like this. I get it. I've been there before. That's your expert story positioning, or what you might call your story. That's where you go, I've been through that too. Here's what I experienced. Here was my struggle. Here's how I tried to figure it out. And here's this one thing I figured out that worked pretty good. Then tell them about the thing. Tell them about your method, your idea, your process, your product, but describe it to them in a way that they see the benefits. You share the benefits of your system, your idea, your methodology, your product. What are the benefits? What's it help them do, overcome, experience, achieve? Then you have to share what the features are. Okay, what is it? What do I get? Got it. All right. There's this thing I can do in the world. Here's these problems. I relate with that because I've struggled with it too. Oh, you struggled with it and you went through it and you figured it out and your thing will help me do these things? That's cool. What is it? How does it work? Describe what is it and how it works. Then make sure you overcome all those objections. Well, that won't work for me. I don't have the time. Sounds expensive. Then tell them how much it really is. Then add bonuses. Give them a reason to do it. Then give them a guarantee. Then give another surprise bonus or a deadline or a reason to sign up now. Pepper throughout the page some social proof. Your students, people talking about what you do, why it's good, how it helps them. And you're like, I don't have any. Well, then watch yesterday's training because it doesn't matter if you don't have any yet. Go get them. That's your job. Go give your thing free to somebody. Get some stories of people talking about it. You need 3. You don't need 1 million. I don't have 1 million fans or 1 million results. Go get 3. Go help your neighbor. Go help your cousin. Go help the person down the block. Get 3 stories of people who went through your thing, bought your thing, liked your thing, enjoy your thing, whether that's a product or a service or program. I don't care. Get 3 people talking about it. Cool. That's what your sales page is. That's what your sales page is. Now, when you're in Kajabi, you'll see not only are there templates for it, but I teach on that all the time. Here's how to sell anything. And I do it all the time in the membership that you get, which is me teaching you marketing all of next year for free when you're a Kajabi Growth member. If you're already a Kajabi Growth member, by the way, that's handled. You don't have to do anything. If you're not yet, either upgrade in Kajabi, or just if you're new, click the link in the chat or the poster on this page, and that will teach you about Kajabi. Okay, so what are we doing here? Well, direct to sale. So we're going here, right? There's a buy button. But here's like the thing that took me 3 years to figure out. I have no idea. Maybe you guys already knew this. But you don't actually take them to the checkout page here, right? You would think, oh, I'm going to take them to the credit card page here, right? They click the button. I'm going to take them to credit card. What you want to do is capture first their email. And then you want to take them to the credit card page where they actually give you that money. Why? Because most people who hit a credit card page, they bail, they leave. But if you capture the email first, you can tell. So you tag them that they entered step 1 for your purchase. But if they don't complete this, you set up your system called Kajabi or whatever other system you use. I'm using Kajabi today because, again, they're their sponsor. But whatever system you use, hopefully you have a system that allows you to tag people, allows you to send people emails based on how they came in or what they did, their user behavior, right? And what do? Well, you send them a note. You say, hey, you came over here, but you didn't finish checking out. Go check out. Hey, reminder, you came in here, you haven't completed. Go in, sign up now. It'll take you 2 minutes. Or go in, sign up now. I'll throw in this bonus. Or go in, sign up via this link, give you 10% off to finish your order. Whatever it is. But that's a direct to sale. They're coming to a sales page. You capture the email. They hit the credit card page. Then I told you, like, the payment flow that blew my mind and made me a wealthy person, which is you ask, well, if they're buying this, what else could they buy? What else do you have or that you could create that helps them on their journey? What would be a further service to them to help them improve, to achieve that potential or solve that pain? And that's where I learned about the idea of adding an order bump, right? So you say, hey, do you want to add this thing for an extra $30 or whatever? And then you set up a one-click upsell, this one-click upsell where you offer something else. So really, it looks like you're selling one thing, but you also say, hey, would you like to add this? And a lot of people think, oh, these online marketers, this is what they're doing. I'm like, there is nothing you buy that there's not an upsell. Anywhere in your life, you go to this store, you're standing at the checkout line. What do they put on the counter? All these other things for you to buy, right? Back in the day when you used to buy computers, I remember buying Dell computers back in the day. And you go to checkout and you'd buy the computer and then they're like, do you want to buy a mouse with that? Do you want a leather handbag with that? They do like 17 upsells to buy that computer. Anyone else remember that? It's like, oh my God, same thing. You go buy an Apple computer today. What do they do? They upsell the services. They upsell the other products. If you are resistant to that, you need to get over your internal conception of others and pay attention to market reality. If you have judgment to that, I wonder what else you're judging and resisting and fighting in the world that's how it works. Because you know what? Most people don't do this, not because that's not how the market works. It's because I don't want to sell too much. Why? You don't want more money for your family? Well, no, I don't want my audience thinking I'm selling things. I'm like, but what you sell is a thing that helps them, right? Oh yeah, so you don't want to help them more? You're against helping more? See, our internal fears, they won't like it. That will make me look this way. Our internal fears are not market reality. Your internal fears are not market reality.